Today I met Polly and she's living and working on her Widebeam boat that she got 5 years ago. And today she will tell us a bit more about the boat and what exactly you're doing here.
Absolutely. She was built in 2018. It's a 60 by 12 foot wide beam built by Collingwood Builders. She has 1,000 watts of solar power. We have a lithium battery system. We also have a water filtration, which we use for showering, dishwasher, washing machine.
Not drinking?
Not drinking, okay. No. She's fixed a lot of maintenance, but it's a very nice life.
So you have enough power and then limited water?
We have unlimited water, so we're very lucky to have the water filtration system. And yeah, the power is only 1,000 watts, but that is sufficient for our needs. And we have a lithium battery set up.
This is like a front porch that leads to your bedroom,
so
I guess.
The front bow. We have a locker there, which I tend to keep the loo tanks and also rubbish. And a little garden, which kind of develops over the season. When I first bought the boat, it was a light grey. It was very rusty. I had to angle grind all the rust off, which is frankly the devil's work. The boat was called the Water Gypsy, but I had this lovely logo made by my friend. The boat was painted last year and it will need another paint in a couple of years. It's very paint thirsty. This is a nice place to sit for when my guests arrive and they can have some Prosecco on the deck. We've got a lot of storage in the engine room, 2 front bow lockers, there's gas in one and mooring pins and bits and bobs in that locker. With boats, everything has to work really hard. So we have some steps here. I don't know if you want to see this, but these double up as a shoe storage, which is really useful because...
Oh, it's plenty space there.
Yeah. It's really, really useful to have that there. And everything that you see, apart from the kitchen and these cupboards, is pretty much reclaimed, upcycled. So nothing's really new. This was just some old furniture that was put together. This stores all the spare bedding. Behind here we've got extra chairs, so when we have the private dining for 12, this whole table opens up to 12 and then we can seat everybody around it.
It ain't jam. Oh, it must be jam. Oh, it ain't jam. Well, it must be jam.
This cupboard in here is for all the crockery. And the cleaning stuff is in this cupboard as well.
Right. And it's as well as a whiteboard.
Yeah, so when I have guests, I put down any allergies or any dietary requirements and what kind of puddings or if they want a cheese board. And that helps me sort of see when I'm doing service what they need.
Yeah. And how you came up with the idea to buy a Widebeam? Was there as well narrow boat?
I did look at narrow boats and I was going to just serve coffee and cake out the hatch, but I love cooking and hosting, so when I saw this I thought this can do everything that I want to do. So yeah, and it's a good space. I mean, 12 in here, it's busy, but it works.
Why boat? Why not house, restaurant?
Yeah, well, I mean, I like the freedom, the sense of adventure. I like the transient lifestyle of being able to move around. I like being off grid. I like the fact that I just trade at weekends and it's seasonal, so I take 3-4 months off in the winter to go travelling.
And the heating source is wood stove?
Yeah, we have this. It's a tiny wood burner for the size of the boat, but it's ample. We also have a diesel heating system which runs all the radiators, but we don't really need to use it. And then there's
never in winter as well.
Well, I haven't, to be honest with you, it's only just been fixed. So I have it because I need the hot water for when I'm training. But I've got a wood burner in the bedroom as well, so the whole boat's really toasty.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, and then you have this huge kitchen.
Yeah, well, considering I produce about 20 different things to serve from here. So my biggest challenge is storage space. I have to buy fresh every week. Large range cooker. And then I have 2 domestic fridges here.
All right.
And then I have 2 compressor fridges in the bedroom.
They're like fridge freezers.
They're fridge freezers, yeah. So it's very, very small, but that's why I had to buy and cook it the same week. Some nice little pull-out cupboards here. which is really handy. Under here we have a couple of bin storages.
Yeah.
And cleaning products.
And I like the design. It's like a English pub style.
Yeah, well, this was a bespoke made. This was from a friend of mine who designed it. And I wanted it to kind of have a kind of, sort of a pub feel to it, if you like, but still looking like home. Because obviously it is my home. So I have lots of people in here, but then when they leave, it's back to being my home again. In here, again, we have to have every single space is utilised. So in here we have the glasses storage.
That's out of glasses. That makes sense, I mean.
Yeah. I mean, these weren't here. Nothing was here. It was a complete empty shell when I bought it.
And you got dishwasher as well.
Yeah, the dishwasher is in the bedroom.
Okay.
So in here, I won't show you because it's a bit tight, but this is where all the herbs and spices are kept. And this is all the dry goods and nuts and flour and what have you.
So when you got it, it was empty shell?
It was empty shell, but the lady who owned it before ran it as an antique shop. So she left some really cool stuff, like this archway was left, this thing here, which I'm not quite sure, but it looks like it was made for a boat. And then you'll see the bath in the bathroom, which she built the walls around, so she couldn't take it with her. But it's an ancient sort of copper bath. Which is a shower tray, essentially. So this, you can't get the bath out without dismantling the whole boat. So even though we don't bath in it because it would use too much water.
But you have unlimited water, you could, basically.
Well, we have had one bath in it, but it took about 3 hours to boil lots of water and fill it up because the hot water tank isn't big enough to fill the bath.
You have a water tank and not the instant heater.
Yes, exactly, yeah. So she left this and this copper sink and this unit. So yeah, it was perfect because it's my kind of style and I just used whatever she left and these old doors. So yeah, it's I was very lucky.
But I guess it's original actually bath from back in whatever century.
I don't know. I have no idea how old it is. But I mean, short of taking an angle grinder to it, which would be sacrilege, you would have to literally dismount the kitchen to get it out.
Right.
But I like it as a shower tray. It's it's quite a piece.
And you got composting toilet.
No. So because I'm running a commercial business. I spent a lot of time thinking about toilets, like what do I do? And I would have preferred to have gone compost, but it's difficult when you've got guests to tell them how to, the drill.
How to use it,
Yeah, so it's actually a cassette loo. So the cassettes are kept in there and we have extra cassettes in the front bow locker. So these are sort of changed daily.
So how many of them? 4.
So I have 4 sittings, so I have Friday lunch, Friday evening, Saturday lunch, Sunday evening and Sunday lunch. So that's 4 for each sitting.
Okay, and then you drive by car to the...
Then so it's literally getting the tanks in the trolley, driving to an Elson point. So it's quite labour intensive, the work, which is why I only trade 3 days a week because there's a lot of other things to do in between.
Yeah. So, but that would be the pros and cons. So, kind of being on the boat serving would be...
that's the unglamorous side of boating. But it is what it is. In here, this is like a storeroom, but it's very well hidden. So I've got sort of more dry goods in here. And I'll have to do this in bits, but this is, you have to have removable doors because there's no swing.
Yeah, no space to...
No space.
Yeah.
So we have 2 compressor fridges here that pull out. Okay, so they hold like beers, alcohol. And then in here, we have a dishwasher and some more alcohol stock.
Right, because you get a lot of dishes to do.
Well, it's the glasses. So glasses, to hand wash glasses and dry them is very labour intensive. So the dishwasher, they come out sparkle clean, but it's just dead handy. So when I'm on a Saturday, when I'm doing double service, I have to have a quick turnaround to get all the plates washed and then lay the table again, clean, lay the table and then do food prep. This is the little tiny dinky cute wood burner.
Yeah, second heating source.
Second heating source, and in the winter I just long for kind of cold rainy days so I can watch movies and look at the fire. But that is, I mean, even though it's small, it really belts out the heat. So it's fantastic.
Nice.
And then in here we have clothes and a washing machine.
Oh yeah, right.
So
you got it all, like in a regular house.
So on the first year of trading, it looked like a storeroom. I had boxes of alcohol and the white goods everywhere, and I can't live like this. So I had this built last winter, and it's worked out really well. So when I'm not trading, it then still looks like a bedroom. And then in here is more alcohol, and then under the bed is more storage as well.
And you got double bed.
Yeah, it's actually a king size.
It's king size.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then again, the lady left these really cool like pillars, these mermaid pillars, which are just beautiful. This is also the emergency exit if God forbid anything happened, but people can get out this way. So we leave the doors open, gangplank on the front, and it's just a lovely place to sit in the summer as well. This is a lot more planting to do, so I like to have a big garden, have lots of herbs. I also use edible flowers to put on my starter grazing boards. So I like to try and grow as much as I can like that.
And when did you decide to do such a business? Before you bought the boat, or when you bought the boat?
No, it was a dream from about 10, 15 years ago. But like most people, you let fear stop you from doing things, and then when COVID hit, I bought a van and I converted it into a camper just using YouTube because I was furloughed for 8 months. And I built this van, and it gave me the confidence to do the boat. And I thought, actually, if I can do a van, I can do a boat, which is very naive because it's not the same.
Yeah, slightly bigger scale.
Slightly bigger scale, and it goes like that. But yeah, it was just a kind of now or never moment, and I just wanted to follow my dream really and do what I love, and
Right.
and that's cooking and hosting, and something that is manageable. For me, if I wanted to do it on my own. I'm very lucky. I have my partner Hank, who helps me, and he's also an engineer and electrician. So even though I could manage it by myself, when things go wrong, Hank can deal with it straight away, and he's also helps me host. So yeah, it's
Right.
he's invaluable to me
Yeah.
like that. So
And before you were as well involved in restaurant business before?
well, I used to run a bar in Ibiza for 3 years.
Okay.
1,000 years ago,
Yeah.
95 to 97 with my best friend Teresa, and then I worked in a hotel in India, a 5-star hotel, and then I've always kind of all the way through growing up I worked in bars and restaurants and stuff, but I've always loved cooking. It's my go-to. I cook to relax, which is weird some people. So yeah, it was
Like
just
meditation for you.
yeah, because you're kind of so busy concentrating on the cooking, you don't think about anything else. So it's kind of meditative in a very stressful way, I
Right.
guess. But yeah, it's what I love, and it's a nice life.
Right. And this boat, did it take you long to find the perfect one to fit your
I
needs?
I was looking for quite a long time, but I actually bought this boat in Devizes Marina.
Oh, right here.
So right here, yeah. I'd just come back from London looking at a boat that had failed a boat survey, and the surveyor had said to me, "Don't buy it. It's no good." And I was feeling pretty depressed because I'd gone all the way to North London, and I was really having a heart set on it. And then it was actually Hank, my partner, said, "Well, a boat's just come into Devizes Marina, but it's very scruffy and it's very big. It's not even on the market. Just come and have a look." So I looked and I walked through the door, and I was like, "Oh my God, I love it! This is it. This is the one." So yeah, I put an offer in, and it was accepted, and
Right.
I paid 68,500
For empty.
for an empty. Yeah, so it had all the electric, and it had a kind of a normal battery system, so I could move on straight away. But it was an empty shell, which is what I wanted, because I wanted the kitchen. I had an idea of how I wanted it: the kitchen at the back, and then a long table with all my guests sitting round, looking out that way. So yeah, it was perfect. And then the fact that it had a few cool antiques, even better.
Would you go back to like a mortgage life, rental life?
Never, never, never. No.
What would you say would be most cons and pros?
I can think of a lot of cons and not too many pros. I mean, obviously you have all the pros are that you have services, you have running water use, which are like you don't have to think about your energy, if you like. But that's what I like about living like this. I like to be mindful of the energy I'm using. I mean, even now if I go to somebody's house, I'm switching off lights if I see them on, because you just get in that mindset. So yeah, I mean, obviously one thing I would like is to have a garden. I would love to grow a significant amount of food. Obviously the pros are the fact that it's living off grid, it's a cheaper lifestyle. It facilitates the lifestyle that I want. I get to meet some really cool people. The boating community are amazing. And it's a sense of adventure. You know, it's different every week. And and it's transient. I'm moving along all the time, so you have different scenery. I can have total privacy if I want to. So when I'm not trading, we tend to go sort of somewhere really remote, so we don't have any kind of other boats around us, which is lovely. You just couldn't get that you can't just pick up a house and put it in the middle of nowhere.
And you still have a lot of places like this to go?
Yeah, you can. I mean, heading towards Bath, not so much, but if you go the other way, yeah, absolutely. In the summer, you have a lot of hire boaters, so it does get quite busy, and that is one of the challenges, is trying to find a suitable mooring for when I'm trading. Luckily, so far, it's worked out well. If we get to a place and it's really busy, we tend to just chat to people and ask them when they're moving on. And then we're hovering until they do, and then we move into position. And then I let my guests know where I am by what 3 words. So it's like a bit of a mystery tour for the guests as well. They never really know where they're going.
And the guests, they're like boaters? Or
No, it's kind of all sorts of people. And that's what surprised me is when I first started, I thought I would have different people because obviously I'm moving on all the time, but actually people do follow me. I've got some regular guests.
It's very inspiring actually that you not only can move on the different living place like a boat, but actually figure out completely new lifestyle for yourself. Let us know what you think about this build and see you the next one. Cheers!
Bye!